It's the day I've been waiting for. My PCGS order has arrived. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and finally I got my 10 coin submission back from PCGS. Crazy how long it's been. They received this order on October 23rd and it's December 22nd when it hit my P.O. box. So from the day they got it to the day I got it back, almost 60 days. Now I am going to open this box off camera because inside this box is the PCGS plastic box that will be inside, and hopefully I have one of the orange ones. We'll have to see if they gave me one, but either way it'll be black or blue or orange, and I can't wait to get in there. I will take out the invoice and all that stuff ahead of time. I also will go ahead and let you know that I did accidentally take a look at the grades. Now, before we get all crazy with that, I didn't see which grades went with which coins, but one of the coins in here I decided to get the TrueView additional service for because it is a top 50 VAM, and I'm hoping A, it got the VAM designation, which I'm 99% sure it did, and B, it was in such great shape I was hoping it'd be one of the top 10 coins out there, and so I wanted a TrueView picture of it associated with its PCGS slab. When I got my email stating that my images were ready, I didn't know that the grades were ready, and when I clicked on the order details, I quickly saw all the grades, but I didn't really look left to see which coins they went to. So I did see some of the grades, but again, I don't know which went with what. But there is another caveat, which is why I'm concerned about this order. I did see some information on there, and again, not knowing what they went to, that I wasn't happy with. That being said, all we can do is open this box, get inside. It's been over 2 minutes, and this intro is getting long. So let me get this box open, and let me get the PCGS box ready to go as well. Well, this is a first. We got a blue box with a black top. Never seen that. Figured I'd show it to you. So we didn't get the orange box, and we got a hybrid box, if you will. Let's get the box open and pull the invoice out, and we'll get right to the coins. All right, we're going to get right to the coins, and the first two on this list of coins that I'm going to show you were what ifs. In other words, I didn't really like the way that they looked, but they were nice enough that I wanted to submit them to see if they would get a grade. And I'll tell you right now, we can already see the first one does show genuine, not gradable. And let me go ahead and just bring it over to you and show you what I submitted. This is a beautiful Liberty V-nickel. And they say it's been cleaned. And when I looked at this coin, I did see a little bit of scratching, some odd colors, but it was in such great shape that I figured I would at least try to get it graded. I did not see any cleaning marks myself under the scope, but I did notice that it did have a different finish than some of my other graded Liberty V-nickels, but I thought maybe it was just toning. At the end of the day, I have not submitted very many nickels for grading as far as over 100 years old, and I wanted to submit a couple. This is just one of the ones I submitted, and it's unfortunate. 1883, no cents. It's a genuine nickel, but they say cleaned with AU details. So what are you going to do? You can live and you learn. At the end of the day, it's a beautiful nickel, whether it's been cleaned or not, and according to them, it has been, and I knew it was a toss-up, so it is what it is. That's our first submission. I do not have an 1883 no cents nickel graded. Now I do, kind of. First coin down, and I knew I would see some of these genuine with details grades because I opened it ahead of time, and I know we have a few more. The second one is also going to be in the same boat, and I'll show the obverse first. This is a beautiful 1880S Morgan dollar. And I figured by the strike that it was possible proof-like. The only problem is the back looked suspect. Take a look at this back. Now, I did pick this up in a junk silver purchase, and I couldn't tell you for sure if the back looked like this because of cleaning or if it had something that it was pressing up against for many, many years. I'll tell you this much. It still has a cartwheel, and because it had the cartwheel finish, I figured I would roll the dice and see if I could submit it and get a grade on it. It's a no-brainer when you look at it now. It just looks too suspect. There's no way they would give this a fair grade, probably because of the way it looks. But you know what? What are you going to do? At the end of the day, it was too nice on the obverse not to submit and roll the dice. But we lost. We got a genuine cleaned Unk Details. It's really a shame. It's really a shame because it is a beautiful Morgan dollar, other than the reverse looking a little suspect. Anyway, these coins, I knew that I had a very good chance of getting clean grades or environmental damage grades. I thought this would be more environmental damage than anything, but at the end of the day, disappointing but expected on these two. Now that we've covered them, I've got a bunch of other Morgan dollars in here and other finds that I have found. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, anything that I have found while hunting, I will always post a link to the video that I found it in down below. And as I show the coin, I'll be putting links above. 2 down, 8 to go. Let's see what we got next. Now, I'm not going to remember all of these, so these are all going to be surprises for me. This is another beautiful Morgan dollar, as you can tell, and we will have a grade on this one, which is a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and flip it over here in a second and see what we got on this one. And I'll remember it once I flip it, of course. Wow, okay. I'll take that. 1886. I'll be honest, I thought this was so nice that I might get an MS65, but they gave me MS64 Plus. And I'm not mad at that. That is a nice grade. I did think it would be at least a 65 personally, but 64 plus, I will take that. Dang. It was almost proof-like, and that's probably what the plus is for. It's got such great eye appeal. It's not proof-like, but it is definitely very lustrous. Very clean fields, as you can see. Great detail. Almost no type of damage, chatter, you name it. So I figured this would get a high grade, and it did. A little bit lower than I thought, but I'll take the plus. What do you do? MS64 Plus, 1886, Morgan dollar. Next up is another Morgan dollar, and this one is another beauty, and it does have the S mint mark, and I submitted 3 S's, 79, 80, and 81. We have done the 80, which got clean grade. So this is the 79 or it's the 81. And take a look at this strike. Now this one, I'll tell you, I did submit for the proof-like designation. Now, San Francisco minted a lot of Morgan dollars that had a very nice strike. But this one I just felt like could possibly get the proof-like grade. Take a look at this. So the key here is we know it got a regular grade, so it's going to have a straight grade. But will they give me the proof-like strike? Let's flip it and see. And if I recall, this should be the 1881 based on the strike, if I recall which one was which. It is the 1881, and they did not give me the proof-like strike, which I guess because the obverse is not as cameo, if you will, as the reverse, they didn't deem it a proof-like strike. We were rolling the dice on that one as well, but this is a beautiful Morgan dollar, and I'm surprised at the 63. I'll be honest, I had this chalked up to a 64 or better all day, and maybe I'm wrong, but MS63 feels kind of like a lower grade for what this one looks like to me. There is a ding, I guess, in front of her eyes, and maybe that's why they couldn't give it higher than a 63. That's probably it, but I would have took an MS63 PL proof-like all day. Wishful thinking, I guess. The back, you know, definitely has that proof-like finish. Look at that. But I knew the front was suspect. And, yeah, it kept it from getting a proof-like grade. 1881S, MS63. I'll still take it, but no proof-like strike. 4 down, 6 to go. What's next? This one, okay, this is the other San Francisco, so this one should be the 1879S. Again, another beautiful example. You can take a look here. Very, very nice. Now, this one has some of the die polishing scratches, if you will, on the strike, and it's another one that was really close to being proof-like, and I can't remember if I submitted this one for proof-like strike either, but definitely I was taking a look at that. But either way, it's a very nice Morgan dollar. Very beautiful. Let's take a look at the front and see what grade we got. Well, I'll be 1879S PCGS MS66. Unbelievable. Look at this coin. Absolute stunner. We didn't get a proof-like designation if I did submit for it, and I'll find out on the invoice before I end the video. But I'm pretty sure I would have submitted this one for possible proof-like as well. But they did give it an MS66. Man, I'm sure there's a lot of 66s, 67s in the 1879 year. A lot of nice Morgans minted out of San Francisco. But holy cow. That is a stunner. That is a beautiful grade. That's what I was hoping for. MS65 or better on a lot of these Morgans. And it's nice seeing an MS66 on one. Fantastic. That is my highest graded Morgan that I own in a slab. I will definitely take it. Too bad it didn't get a proof-like strike. Next up is... oh, it's the piece. All right. This is the one that I submitted. I got the True View for. And this one is one of the potentially top 50 VAMs. This one's known as the Whisker Cheek. It's a die crack, and it left a nice cud, if you will, on the cheek of Liberty's face. So definitely am curious to see, A, did I get the VAM designation, which again, I'm pretty sure I did, and B, I thought this was MS64 or better all day, hoping for a 65. Let's take a look. We got the VAM designation and a decent grade. 1923 PCGS MS64 VAM 1D Whisker Cheek top 50 VAM. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. You can see it right on her cheek. Pretty much a no-doubter if you find them. So I was pretty certain I had the VAM for sure. The only scary thing on these old coins is, are they clean? Will they get a good grade? And we did. Now, I'll tell you, I insured it for PCGS MS65, but we got a 64, and I don't disagree with it. I knew it was at least a 64, hoping for a 65, but I'm not sure there's very many graded higher. This is a pretty tough VAM to find. There might be a handful graded higher than a 64, and again, we'll check the cert number at the end to get a value on the coins that have a grade and their population as well. Unbelievable. MS64, that makes me happy. Next up, and I can already see some disappointment here. Not gradable. So this is one of the nicest Walking Liberty half dollars that I own. I looked at this coin under the scope. I didn't see any evidence of tampering, altering, cleaning, but it did not get a grade. But let's take a look at this beauty. 1941 PCGS Genuine, cleaned unk details. I'm telling you, I don't see any cleaning on this at all. I studied it. But it is the first Walking Liberty half dollar that I submitted for authentication and grade. And I guess I need to study this one under the scope a little more in my off time and see if I can find out what they saw. But I just don't see it. I see a beautifully struck 1941 Walking Liberty half dollar. Oh well, that's disappointing. Next one up is the Type 1 Buffalo nickel. Let me flip it. Take a look at this Buffalo nickel. Absolutely a stunner. It's a Type 1 1913, no mint mark, of course, so it's the more common one. But I've had it in my collection for a little bit, and I've debated about sending it in. It's got beautiful purpling and amber toning. It's such a nice coin. I figured it was at least a mint state coin, so I was hoping to get an MS 60 something out of it. But let's take a look and see what we got. PCGS MS63 1913 Type 1. What a stunner. I'll be honest, I thought it was going to get the plus grade just based on the toning, but what are you going to do? We'll take an MS63. We definitely paid for the submission cost, not by a lot because there's not a lot of value in a common Buffalo nickel. Even though it is a 1913 Type 1 and MS63 condition, I might have made a few bucks after grading, but more importantly, we know that it wasn't cleaned, it is genuine, and it's a stunner. I'll gladly add this one to my collection, and overall, I'm happy with the grade. Next one is a surprise. That is a surprise. Not gradable. This is a 71D FS 101 half dollar that I found coin roll hunting, and again, I'll put a link to the video down below and above here. I'll be honest, I never checked this coin for cleaning because it's clad. Who cleans clad half dollars? Who cleans clad half dollars? So unless it's environmental damage that I missed, they're going to say cleaned. Let's take a look. Cleaned. Wow, whoever graded my coins this time definitely was hammering me. I don't know. I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on this one. This was my best example of a 71D FS 101. We did get the DDO FS 101 designation, but a cleaning grade on a clad half dollar. Who does that? Not me. So it is what it is. We did get its genuine and details, but that's kind of a bummer. Like I said, I did notice that we would struggle on this submission because I did see the sheer amount of genuine details just at quick glance, and I was like, holy cow, so I just clicked off. But that's it, and that's tough. I've got one more coin, and we know which one it is, and yeah, this is the one I did see right off the bat when I opened up the grades, and it's a bummer, but this one I did find coin roll hunting. Now, I did get it out of a customer wrapped rolls box from one of my subscribers, and we submitted this one only for two reasons. One, I was hoping that it would at least grade genuine, and second, I was hoping that if it did grade genuine, it would get a G4 or better grade without any problems. Well, it's got the genuine not gradable, so it's going to have something on here. Probably cleaned as well. That seems to be par for the course. But this is a 1909 S VDB. And sorry about the lighting, but it's a dark coin. So I knew, if anything, this would get a brown G4 grade at best. Let's see, despite the not gradable, what kind of details they gave this 1909 S VDB. And let's make sure it got a genuine authentication as well. All right, I'll take it. 1909 S VDB, PCGS genuine, and we did get fine detail. Oh, and we got environmental damage. Environmental damage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in the light without it reflecting too much, but we did get environmental damage on this one, which is probably pretty obvious. I was just hoping that we'd get it authenticated and a straight grade, and I was praying for a G4, and you know what? I'll actually take a non-graded but genuine fine details grade on this coin, because that does still make it valuable, because anyone who wanted to buy this would know that it's genuine and they know that it has some fine details. Like I said, this was one of my toughest submissions. We got some great grades. We got some tough non-graders. We didn't get some of the proof-like designations that we wanted, but let me choose a handful of these and bring up the value for what they are worth in the slabs they are in. All right, we're going to kick it off, and even though it didn't receive a straight grade, we're going to take a look at what a 1909 S VDB with fine details would go for. And again, I know it didn't get the fine grade, but anyone looking to purchase a 1909 SVDB probably would use this as a guide. Fine starts at fine 12, and so for a 1909 SVDB, if it would have received a straight grade, it'd be worth about $775. Obviously, if we take a look at the recent auction sales, they're selling between $500 and $600 for a fine 12. So the reality is, even though it's not straight graded, this coin is between a $500 and $600 coin as it is encapsulated. And the cool thing about it is, at least at worst cases, anyone who were to buy it would know straight up it's a genuine coin and it would be one they could put for their collection. Next up is the 1881S, and before I show the value, keep in mind I submitted this one with the assumption that I might get the proof-like strike on it, but I'll show the value of this coin without the proof-like designation and then with the proof-like designation. So 1881S in MS63 grade is only a $70 coin. I purchased this at a silver dealer for $40. And I can't get mad at that. By the time I submitted it for grading and the fees, I did lose a little bit at $70, but I'm not mad at it. I didn't have a slabbed 1881S anyway. But had it been the proof-like strike and got the 64 that I was hoping for, it would have been a $185 coin. But even a 63 was $125. That's why I submitted it. I thought it would get the proof-like designation, and it didn't. And that's what happens sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's still a nice grade on a nice Morgan dollar. Next up is the 1886 Morgan dollar, MS64 Plus. I did not submit this for the proof-like designation. I submitted it because how beautiful it was, and we did get a concurrence on how beautiful it was, but not as high as I thought. I assumed MS65. Let's take a look at the value on this on the PCGS population report, and you can see a 64 plus is a $90 coin, so we made some money on this one, but I did think it would get the 65. Either way, a recent one sold for 150, so a 64 plus definitely has a little more value than maybe the price guide shows for it, and I'm happy. A lot of people collect plus graded coins, so definitely a good grade. Just thought it was a 65 personally. Next up is the beautiful 1879S MS66, and I'm telling you, even from this distance, I'm not sure why they couldn't give me that proof-like strike, but again, a lot of them were struck nice. But man, MS66. Now, I did submit this one for the proof-like designation, so we're going to look at this one in both the regular grade of MS66, and then had I gotten the proof-like strike grade, what it would go for. 1879S and MS66 books for about $300, so definitely a good price on the coin. A recent sale was $408, but typically it looks like they're selling right around that $300 range. If you were to take the collective sum of these and divide it by the number of them, it's about $300. Now, had it been the proof-like strike that I was hoping for, an MS66 would be very nice. It would be at $550. But I assumed it would be right around 65 or 66, but I thought it would get the proof-like strike. It didn't, but I'm not unhappy. That is a high grade, and I will take that all day and be happy with it. Beautiful coin, my highest graded Morgan dollar that I have in my collection, and that makes me happy. The final coin I'm going to show the value on is this 1923 Top 50 VAM PCGS graded MS64 VAM 1D Whisker Cheek Piece Dollar. And so I brought it up right here. You can clearly see it, and it does show you the whisker cheek, if you will. This is exactly what I have on my coin. And we got close to top pop, but we didn't quite get it. I got a PCGS graded MS64, which is where 23 of the other ones have been graded. Only 2 got a plus grade, and only 3 in the MS65, and that's what I insured it for. That's what I thought it might get. We didn't get it, but I'm not unhappy. We did get the top 50 VAM designation. We did get a nice MS64 grade, but dang it. Too bad it wasn't as beautiful as I thought to them. Either way, It's not a loss. That's a good win. Matter of fact, I'm happy overall with the 5 grades I did receive. I'm happy with the fine details, although I wish it didn't have the environmental damage on the 09 S VDB. I'm very surprised that this Walking Liberty half dollar got a cleaning designation, and I'm certainly surprised that somebody cleaned a clad Kennedy half dollar. That's a bummer. These two were the what ifs, and they kind of got where I expected them to get, and just hoped that they didn't, but they did, and it is what it is. This was one of my more tougher submissions when it comes to the number of ungraded coins. I've only received a couple of ungradable coins before, and this is 5 on one submission. Hopefully you enjoyed this PCGS submission unboxing video. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, happy stacking, and thanks for watching.